Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are at the Street Woman Fighter Season 2 finale. This is going to be the Global Artist Mission. I know we have our 4 groups in our finals, each tackling a different global artist. Definitely excited about it. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The Queen of Queens, Mannequeen.
Oh, they even choreographed that beginning. It kills me. It's so good. They set this up so similar to Whedon Boys did in their finals. Wow. Yes! Come on. Ooh. Wow, very stable. Ha. Yes, with the choreography. And there's so much energy because they're live, so it really helps with the intensity to match the tone. Guys, that was such a great start to this challenge for me. I forgot to mention this in my intro, but I am watching them in the placement order. We're going from Mannequeen all the way up to Bebe. I do know the final rankings, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just bring it back here. Man, I'm so glad that Mannequeen made it to finals. I was really worried for a second, especially knowing how they finished ranking-wise in the previous challenge before the battle mission, and so I'm glad they were able to battle and make it into finals. I love the fact that they chose to do Mannequeen, of course, who did the crown, and they even just went over the tone of the voice, and that was something funny that we noticed when they did the global mission, artist mission, like the interim draft choreo. So they did that there, and that was really funny, so I'm glad that we got to see that here. This whole beginning, it does remind me of Whedon Boys. I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, but it does remind me of that because they set it up in their finals with their legs up like that for their like identity as a crew. So it's just really cool to see, but I know they were kind of making a ballroom look with using people. Like, that's just freaking sick. Do you see this? I love it. We're just starting here at the forefront. You have your, remember, so just bringing it about. It's just a beautiful drapery here, you know, and everybody, it just feels clean. And I think the great call for everybody to have blonde hair. It just creates this, what is it? This look of, it just adds to the unison of it, and it feels, it's just all the vibe. And I know that Lady Gaga had blonde hair for a long time. And so it's really cool to see here with Poker Face, extending it out. I know I love the costuming. It really ties into Gaga, and it still feels like them too. Just the extension here. Some of them, they have their feet on the freaking floor. Aerial shot, super cool. Using a little bit of controlling with one person behind Funky Y, just controlling her, and I love it. Everybody's legs up. That right there, doon, 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 doon. And when you notice, we are seeing a lot of this framing of the face. That carries more over into Vogue, what we've seen. But Lady Gaga's choreo a lot of times has that kind of nuance of mannequin-esque. Now, I know in the draft choreography, they were supposed to replicate certain aspects of the key part of the choreo as part of the choreography. I do not know a lot of Lady Gaga's choreo as much as I do Beyonce or Rihanna. So forgive me if I'm not catching on, oh, this is the actual choreo for the track, because I mean, this is more the era of Gaga, but then the more recent tracks that she has, I haven't really listened to, so do forgive me for that. But here, just that framing there was really nice. The throws. You should see how she threw that. Boom. Boom. Just really nice. They all pull forward, coming up. They are in heels too. Like, they were so stable this whole time. Very clean. I really wish we could have seen that from the front because a lot of their movement was protruding forward, but our audience got to see it, which was super cool. I love the arena style here because everybody gets, you know, you feel more people up here, but they are projecting more front. I like that here. Just poker face, bring it down to the front. This was so fun. Dot, 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 dot. So very clean in the tuts here. Ma. Love that part right there. Just having them ma. And because you hear the ma, a lot of times we think about the lips. So you got to see it kind of bounce off and they mouthed it, which was so fun. Love that they chose that. And I'm talking about poker face here. So it's signifying the face wordplay. Love it. This was sick. You see this? That was so nice. It's very clean. Now, I will say my back audience was probably able to see this setup, but the camera really did a great job of hiding it, so it was revealed when ready. Love this. And she's mouthing it, so it's really more so for the camera for this. That was a really interesting call because when you see it, it has this kind of sexiness about how she came out of it because you had somebody's hips or bottom facing us. So I think that was a really great call on the choice of how they chose to get her down. And they bleed down into it. And then you have your two come back up, join back in, come back up. Now, do I think that's the cleanest execution? Not really, but I do like how they chose to stack it. So that was a nice call. Come back up to finish it out. Nice in a circle. Then you have your feature in the middle. Killing it. I love that. Boom, down, doom, doom. Very militant. Very staccato in how they're approaching it. So a lot of their choreography is definitely bleeding through in a great way. It's not feeling like, okay, we have different parts of Gaga's tracks and the content is so different. Like it's different people choreographed it. It's definitely, it feels cohesive all the way through, which I really love. I love that. Boom, boom. Approaching forward, ready to pop off. I will say they are a little bit simpler on the formation. We are seeing a lot of the diamond, that V shape. A little bit more. They are choosing to mirror and play around with different dynamics, but that would be my only note is that once you use a formation, because, you know, it's a 2-minute routine, try to explore outside of just a point with your V. But honestly, I don't think it matters. I love this. You know, bleeding it over, you have an even number and it is tricky to have your even number look nice, you know, when you have a point person. And so it is a great call that they had both groups facing towards the outside. Really liked that. That little do-do-do-do-do-do-do, super nice and clean. If we listen to the backbeat here, that was really cool. That da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I would say it could have been more refined on that peel out all the way down, but I really like the choice that they made to really reset themselves, come back up into ponies. I like this too, having people transition while they had something slow, very polyrhythmic in their approach. And now we're back to a V. Even though they're setting it up different, that's just still my note. I think that was a maybe slightly overused formation, even though they did something different every time, really trying to entertain other avenues, you know, windows, maybe diagonal, a lot of that. But I will say we are experiencing, this was great. In comparison, definitely one of their better routines that we've seen from them. Great start that I'm seeing here. Love this here where they go and they bring it around, where they thread through. I feel like I have seen this type of threading with the rotation of the arms before. Not quite with them, but I would say I really love it. It's clean. I love this. Like, even though I've seen this kind of stuff before, that kind of setup, I really love that they chose to extend it out. Do you see how symmetrical this is? That's actually very difficult to do. I would say this side is just slightly higher than this side, but just going from a 90, and then you have your corner, and then you have somebody all the way up, and then somebody flat. Like, guys, that's so cool. I love that. And then dropping it down into the split. And so you have somebody that's split up into your whacks that are happening, and then their whacks ended up closing, the overheads closed her legs, and then having somebody who does a split at the top. That's like, it's like such a great progressive way to showcase their extensions, and I think that's super fun, and it frames greatly here. And then you have people adding on, and then I love that they drape their hair over on each side. Love that with some confetti. Such a vibe. 4, 5. Yeah, so I like this here whenever we're over one person, that is our feature with the arm, everybody else bleeding over to look in the same direction. Really like that. Great camera angle here. We go back over, party over, super fun. And it feels like them. I love it. That was really great with the arena, having everybody face towards the outside. But of course, because they were viewing towards the crowd, it was hard for me to tell what was happening in that moment, obviously. But I like that they're having their own like spastic moments in the line, being with the fire behind them or the sparklers. So it's really fun, ties together the track very nicely. That was nice. I will say slightly off in the line, but I really like what they try to do. They try to build it up diagonally. I think she was just a little too far out. But how they finish that do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And they finish like so. Of course, with Gaga, sometimes she has like the one eye. That's a whole nother topic, but I really like how they finished it. This feels very Mannequeen, just very minor spacing issues here, you know. Now remember too, I don't know, I heard some people say that they're going off of how they did in the live voting for these missions in this challenge. And I feel, you know, do I agree with the final ranking? I don't know, because I haven't seen the other ones, and especially if we're going off of just the 2 challenges that I'm watching, then it could very much make sense as to why Mannequeen gets 4th. You know, there are some cleanliness issues still. They are kind of maybe not tying as well to the audience as they could, but I really do like how this looks here. I also think that the energy of the crowd really helped them with the intensity of their performance and stage presence, and I think I'm going to see that from all of them. Remember, we're in our final 4, top 4, so we're definitely going to be expecting some top tier performances, and I think this was a really great start. If this is 4th, I'm excited to see if they're through 1st. So, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. This is just, it's such a bittersweet thing for me because I started reacting to this back in July, and now we're here at the end of October. It's been such a long invested amount of time sitting and talking through these crews with you guys, with the discussions, and I really feel that, I feel like I've learned so much about so many different communities of people just from reacting to the show, and then also Street Man Fighter in the first season in correspondence to this one. And so I can't wait to, I can wait, but I can't wait to watch the final 4 videos of them demonstrating themselves as a group, because it's going to be very bittersweet for me, because it feels like it'll truly be the end. And but I know that we're going to see them in the future, and it's going to be totally fine. But if you want to see more Street Woman Fighter content or Street Man Fighter content, K-pop content, any battle content, what have you, I have it all, a plethora of it on YouTube. I also have it on Patreon, early access. Everything's early access on Patreon. It is there first. And also, this is released, of course, day of, but the final 4 videos are going to be releasing the following day on YouTube, but it'll be all access on Patreon, first come, first serve on that. So if you really are impatient and you don't want to wait for my final 4 analysis on Street Woman Fighter, you can head over to Patreon. It will be there. Thank you guys again. I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.